Hello, my name is Jack. Several days ago, I went to town to trade the family cow for money to buy food. On the way there, I met a man who convinced me to trade the cow for what he called magic beans. Hey, don't judge. He was very convincing.
Where's my golden goose?
Anyway, I planted the beans and they grew into a huge beanstalk. I climbed it and found the home of a terrible giant floating in the clouds. While I was terrified, I also found treasure.
Where's my bag of gold?
I took the treasure and escaped down the beanstalk while the giant slept, but now he's awake, and I fear I may have made a huge mistake.
Fee-fi-fo-fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman.
He can smell me.
I will look for you. I will find you.
I have a plan. I think I can beat the giant, but if I should fail, at least my mother will have tons of giant beans to eat.
And I will kill you.
I have to go!
The Blood of an Englishman is a card game from Renegade Games. It's a two-player game for ages 10 and up, and takes at most 30 minutes to play. So this is a strategy game. The only randomness is the arrangement of the cards at the beginning of the game. After that, it's all strategy between the two players. One player plays as the giant, and the other, of course, plays as Jack. Jack's goal is to collect the three treasures, the goose, the gold, and the harp. The giant's goal is to defeat Jack by either arranging the giant's cards correctly or by discarding enough cards that Jack can't possibly win. And you start by shuffling the cards and arranging them in 5 rows of 10 cards each, like I have shown here. Then Jack has the opportunity to move one, and only one card, from any one location to any other location within here. And this is important because Jack can use this move to stop the giant from having an early win that random chance may have gifted the giant. Then Jack will have the ability to go first. Jack always starts the game, and then there's alternating turns after that. His goal is to build a beanstalk of ascending cards, and these are the cards with the numbers on them. They have to be in ascending order, but they don't have to be sequential, as a completed beanstalk has 6 cards, and the cards are numbered from 1 to 9. As you see here, here's a 6. After a beanstalk stack has been completed, Jack can use a move action to take one treasure from the front or back of one of the stacks to the top of his beanstalk stack. So, for example, we have the gold treasure down here at the bottom. So let's say Jack's been playing and he's got his 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now that's not how Jack moves, but let's just say he's gathered these cards together, and then he would take one of the treasures that's either the last card or one of the front cards and put that on top, and that would be a completed beanstalk. He has to repeat this 3 times and until he's collected one of each of the treasures, at which point Jack would win. So on his turn, Jack can make 3 moves using one of the 4 actions he has available. There's a handy reference card that tells you what that is. So on Jack's turn, he gets 3 moves. He can either move a card from the front to the front, so he can move the harp over here by the goose, or this 5 over here by the 8, or, you get the idea, from the front of a stack to the front of another stack, or from the back to the front. So he can take this back card and move it to the front. Or he can move from the front to a beanstalk, so he can take one of the cards in the front and move it to his beanstalk stack, his current beanstalk stack, if that's what he wants to do. Or he can go from the back to the beanstalk, so he can take one from the back and move it to his beanstalk, slowly building up his stack of 6 cards. But he can never move from front to back. That's important. And win by completing 3 beanstalk stacks, and that's how Jack would do his turn. On a giant's turn, he only gets 1 action. you know, he's a big, slow giant. These are also listed on the reference card. So the giant can move exactly the 4 frontmost cards front to front. Okay, so he can take a stack of 4 cards, move them from here to over here. That could be his one move. Or he can move 2 cards individually front to front. So he could go 1, 2. Or he can discard any single beanstalk card anywhere in the castle stacks. So he can take 1 card from anywhere and discard it. And you can see where this could be crucial if Jack has to have an 8. And now the giant's discarded all the 8s slowly. That means Jack can't win the game, and then the giant would win immediately. The giant's goal is to either arrange the 4 different giant cards, and these are the giant cards. There's 4 different kinds. There's Fee, Fi, Fo, and Fum. That one's upside down. Sorry. Vertically adjacent to each other in a single column. So he would have, like so, is what he is attempting to do. No, that's not. Where's Fum? Anybody see my Fum? Oh, there was some Fum. Alright, Fum, thanks. Alright, now, unfortunately, that's not the point I wanted to make. Okay, so this would enable the giant to win. He's got all 4 different cards vertically adjacent at the bottom of this, at the front of this column. They don't have to be in the right order. It doesn't have to be Fee, Fi, Fo, Fum, as long as it's the 4 different cards. The other way the giant can win is to have his 4 different giant cards as the bottom card on any 4 of the stacks. So, let's say we got Fum, Fo. So, here we got Fee, Fum, Fi, and Fo, and they're at the bottom. They don't have to be all next to each other, as long as they are at the bottom of the stacks. And that's the second way the giant wins. And the third way is, of course, by blocking Jack by discarding enough cards, like I mentioned before. And that's all there is to it. It seems simple, and you might think it's easier for either Jack or for the giant, but that isn't true in practice. What it really boils down to is who can strategize better based on the placement of the cards, or who makes a fatal mistake.
I really enjoyed this game. It has the feel of a game of chess, actually, but of course not as complex, and it's got an actual theme. Jack is building beanstalks and stealing treasure. He's small and quick and thus gets more moves than the giant, who only gets 1 move, but these moves are more powerful than Jack's. The way that it's enjoyable is not in a let's joke and laugh and play a card game, ha 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 ha. I found it's more of a quiet game where each person is contemplating the cards and planning their moves. In this way, the game's not for everyone. Although it says ages 10 and up, I don't see many kids enjoying the quiet strategy of the game. Although this depends upon the kid, of course. I see this as a game that you might pull out during lunch with a coworker, or while waiting for others to show up on a game night, or a nice evening with your significant other, or really any situation where you have an opponent that you enjoy playing strategy games with. It's very portable, and it's easy to learn. The cards are of high quality, and the artwork is beautiful. However, since the cards have a border, have no border on them, and you have to pick single cards up off the table, it is easy to chip the edges if you're not careful. So I do recommend sleeving your cards. Overall, this is a wonderful game for the right players. Thank you for joining me in this review of The Blood of an Englishman from Renegade Games. Let me know if you found this review helpful by leaving a comment or sending me an email at elliot_miller@voiceofe.com. Make sure to subscribe to the Voice of E channel on YouTube, as I'll have a lot more thematic game reviews and board game giveaways, and you won't want to miss any of them. Please tell your friends to check out the Voice of E, and hopefully they will subscribe too. Thanks again, and until next time, keep your mind
It means that
free.
we need more power.